action.
Welcome back to the Man Cave Classroom. I'm John Heagle, along with my buddy Kevin Kogan. Our objective today is, why did farmers decide to move west? Well, I don't want to answer it right now for you, but
If it's free, it's for me.
I mean, the government was pretty much making it to the situation where it's like you can't walk away from what we're giving you.
You can't say no.
It's either cheap or it's free. And yes, I did say free. Let's talk about that land a little bit, and we'll look at this document right here. We'll start there.
So remember, in previous lesson, we were talking about the Homestead Act.
Absolutely.
Which is giving away millions of acres of land for a small filing fee. The one last great piece of land was what is now Oklahoma. Oklahoma, kind of cycling back into history for a minute, was where, if you remember the Indian Removal Act, when those 5 tribes, let's see if I remember them, the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, the Seminole, the Cree, and the Creek.
Ooh.
When those 5 tribes were forcibly removed from their lands under President Andrew Jackson, he forced them to move west into what was called the Indian Territory. The Indian reservations, Native American reservations, that would become the state of Oklahoma. Well, now the government has basically decided to say, well, let's look what they say.
Well, I mean, if you look here, Grand Rush for the Indian Territory. Let me grab my eyes.
Old people.
Over 15 million acres of land now open for settlement. It kind of gets faint here because we're not on a smart board here. Man Cave Classroom, we don't have that kind of budget just yet. But being part of the land brought to the government in 1866 from the Indians for the freedmen, is that what it's saying?
Yes.
Okay. Now is the chance to procure a home. I love what they did this in terms of it is very interesting, from a marketing and advertising standpoint. Big font, really gets your attention. They use some of that advertising language in there.
And the biggest font of all.
Act now, almost.
Biggest font of all, the word Indian.
Oh yeah.
Because
you wouldn't do that today?
No, but even that, because it's like you're an American citizen.
Yep.
Living wherever you are, and you don't have land. And it's like, oh, they're giving away land in the Indian Territory? It was almost meant to be well, I'm a white American, I'm better than those people.
I'm entitled to this.
Yeah, this draws your attention of that should have been my land anyway.
Right.
And then it even brought up the fact that in 1866 the government had bought this land to try to give it away to those former slaves known as the freedmen.
Absolutely.
This should be mine. I'm going.
A lot of entitlement in that. A lot of that, when you look at the word, the definition for manifest destiny itself, the
God-given right.
The God-given right, exactly. God, key word there, that we had the right to do this, which is wrong for many reasons. Of course, 2020, when you're looking back at this video years from now, I mean, probably about just 2 weeks ago, Washington Redskins just changed the name of their team. It's my dry eyes.
It's like there's an airplane landing upstairs right now. Anyway, so if we think about this for a second, free land.
Yep.
One thing we love as Americans are sales.
Oh my God.
Things that are free. Buy one, get one free.
At one point in time, I my wife has taught me to be more financially or economic savvy, you could say. So now I'm kind of latched onto the, it's free, it's a deal. However, there's one thing I don't buy into is the beginning of the holiday season.
See, I do.
You love the Black Friday stuff?
I do. No, I don't.
Are you the psycho that goes out?
But here's true story.
Here we go.
True story. I'm at Stop and Shop 2 days ago. I'm at Stop and Shop because we needed Tide Pods.
Right.
Your laundry's going upstairs.
There we go.
We needed Tide Pods. So I got the big thing of Tide Pods, 50 things in this little jug.
Something like that.
And as I'm walking away, it says buy 2, get 1 free. I only needed
I
only needed one.
Yeah.
I only needed one.
Right.
But I got the second one and took the third one for free.
Now,
because you know what? I have a family of 4 boys.
Right.
We're always going to need laundry.
Always.
So it was if it's a deal, if it's free, it's for me.
Free.
Now you're right. A holiday season, my wife's really into that. She and her sister.
And you know what's funny? Since
Friday
I have it right here. Since you talk about people getting a great deal and you talk about Black Friday, it's interesting to talk about this because when we look at people and how they've reacted and how they've By the way, I didn't have to do any serious research to find these two.
I show a great video to my kids. It's like all the fights that have happened, and
Yeah.
it's like the little drummer boy, like pa-ra-pa-pa-bum song
Right.
is playing in the background, and these people are like beating the living snot out of each other so they can get a flat screen TV for $20.
And I'm glad you're bringing that up, because when we look at these two images, which say a lot about our society, people do like a deal, but when we look at these images as well, and you're like shocked to the death and everything in Black Friday, people have gone, okay, this has probably gotten too far and too stupid. You've had people that have come out and went, yeah, you're getting a deal, but there's somebody working at one of these places on Thanksgiving because the corporation that they work for felt that you're going to get a benefit to being open on Thanksgiving and whatnot. So it is interesting. But going back to, do Americans like a deal? Yeah, we do.
The original Black Friday.
Oklahoma land rush.
Oklahoma land rush.
Free land.
Yeah, we're talking about this huge portion of, it was like, I guess like the eastern portion of Oklahoma.
Yep.
Was going to be set for open for free. Whoever got there first claimed the land. So,
Hold on, okay, so back up. You go, you race, you put a stake in the ground, free land for you. Wrap your head around
Yep.
it. I didn't mean to interrupt them, but people go, nah, yeah.
It was literally pre-plotted out.
Yes.
They put out these giant flags in these different plots of land. And then every person who was going to participate in the land rush had their own flag. You had to get to that stake in the ground first, remove that stake and put your stake in the ground, and that was your land. So, what land, if I'm a farmer,
right,
who's going to be rushing into the Oklahoma territory on a given day at a given time, what particular piece of land do you think would be the most valuable?
The wide open land there.
Wide open land,
yeah, absolutely.
located near what?
Oklahoma there, or rivers or whatever.
Located near a
There you
river.
go,
Yeah. So that would be the prime land. As a farmer, you need water to irrigate your crops.
So when is this going to take place? April 22nd, 1889, high noon. Government announced, and we saw in the previous advertisement, that the farmers can claim this free land in Oklahoma. 100,000 settlers are going to line up, and they're actually going to go and race. Now, I know
Literally.
I know you show it. I show
Yep.
it. It's from
Far
far
and
away, and we'll probably hopefully circle back to that. Hopefully, we don't forget. They actually show in that movie Far and Away everybody racing and acting like absolute maniacs to get free
And there's
land.
even a dude on a bicycle.
On a bicycle.
Which is true.
Yes.
True story.
And yes.
Dude on a bicycle.
Yes.
And
I'm glad you bring it
and
up.
while we're watching it, there's people are racing in their wagons, and their wagons literally just start to fall apart.
Now hold on, wait a minute. I thought I had it. Is this yours or mine? So the thing is that when we look at that,
In mine, I know there's.
I
We're gonna go back. Go back.
I had
Who's
a
there?
painting of it. Hold on.
Right there.
Yeah. Oh, there he
Right.
is. Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
And literally, these people who are in wagons would literally, their wheels would just fall off.
Yeah.
Why? Because other people had sabotaged their wheels.
Right.
Like you take a saw in the middle of the night, saw the axle
Get all the spokes off, yeah.
almost all the way in half. That 2 minutes into their ride, it breaks. And of course, there's gonna be lawlessness.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Heeg and I are fighting over the same. Oh yeah, he was a little bit quicker on the draw.
Yeah.
He shoots me dead.
Yeah.
Boys and girls, this happened. This happened. Not only that, what also
People
happened,
go, wait a minute, they killed each other for land? It's like, really? 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 You can't look back and be on a high horse judging people when people are fighting over
Yeah.
a tickle me Elmo.
And who were the smartest people? Go back to the date and time. Who were the smartest people?
The ones that got there before.
The people who were like, wait a minute, why am I going to wait till April 22nd at 12 noon?
I'll just
I'm
chill
going to
here.
show up. I'm going to show up on April 20th.
Sooner rather than later.
Sleep there,
Yeah.
and then wake up. And then again, in the movie Far and Away, there's an Irish couple who cheated.
Yes. Yep.
They got there sooner than everybody else did, and then he's like, "All right, sir, they're coming.
They're coming.
Pretend
And they
like
make it look like it,
pretend
yep.
like you're out of breath." And they literally poured buckets of water on their horses to make their horses look like they were sweating.
Yep.
So it's I remember reading a story. It was a bunch of Black Fridays ago that there was somebody at Dick's Sporting Goods. That Dick's was running this huge. It was in not here on Long Island, but maybe
People
Jersey.
always find a way
And
around
what they had
something, yeah.
done is they had actually slept in the bathroom that night at Dick's. When Dick's was locking up for the night. This guy was like in the bathroom and like has like picked his feet up. Why? Because
I was
like when they
gonna say.
opened the doors, he was like already there and could get to what.
And what was the big purchase he was going to save on?
Probably, I don't know, hunting equipment, because that's usually like that's probably the most expensive. That or like workout equipment. But like, yeah, dude had slept at Dick's and got himself a rest.
So here's an actual photo of what this looked like, and you know, in the movie Far and Away, that one scene, while the shot rings out, the camera goes really quick to Native Americans who are like standing there in like shock and disbelief, like what the hell is going on?
This is our land, and
It's
you're
really subtle. I don't know if you ever.
Nope,
I'm sure you
caught
put it. So you know, you have a painting here capturing it as well. You know, this was the shopping opportunity.
Spree,
Yeah, absolutely. Now you had people who were there sooner than later, and just like a lot of colleges, quite a few colleges who wound up taking on a
we talk about Texas Longhorns.
a mascot name. This is where the Oklahoma Sooners comes from.
The cheaters.
Yeah, the cheaters.
So the Oklahoma mascot are named after the people who cheated during the Oklahoma land rush.
And the funny thing is that there's quite a few football games where during halftime, part of the show with the band coming out, where the carriage comes out with the horse as well. And
did you see last football season the thing like crashed?
Yes.
It took like this huge
took the
chunk
words
out of like the goal line.
Yeah. I did not laugh at that at all. Not at all. I'm above that.
I did, because I'm not.
I'm lying. So the people who snuck in there and got the best land before the opening shots rang out, these were called the Sooners, which leads to the whole. But it's funny you brought up Far and Away. Far and Away, when you look at how overlapped our units are, where we go from we have Westward expansion and immigration, those are separate units, but right around the same time.
Yeah.
And the thing is that movie captures everything.
It does.
The horrible, Irish immigration, the horrible working conditions. Yep. Him getting off the boat. Wow, this place is great. You want a job? Here you go. And or I think there was the one thing where it's like I thought the streets were paved in gold.
Yep.
I guess they're not. And his whole reason for being there was to be a part of this moment. So it's great. Nicole Kidman was in it. A huge crush on her growing up.
Tom Hanks was in it.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Who Tom Cruise, for being such a big movie star, is only like 5'4".
Right.
Tiny little guy.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks for watching.